physical way created the universe in ways that we haven't even begun to understand, but is starting to be understood more and more. And what we speak out shifts and changes things and has energy. And I think we're all familiar with this, right? So I don't think this is new to anyone, right? We all are familiar with that. And so I felt like the Lord was inviting us to be more targeted and to be more intentional. We've all started declarations over our own personal life, but I felt like, what would it be like if we kind of got ourselves organized together and did this together? So even if you don't like totally think God's the greatest right now and you're super mad at him, it doesn't even matter, because when you decree or bless or speak positive things, it changes things at a subatomic level that we are just starting to have an understanding for. How we proclaim over things shifts and changes things. I love one of the things, you can try this at home. If you guys want a really fun science experiment or whatever, you can speak over plants. That's a long historic thing of speaking blessing over certain plants and negative things over other plants and seeing how those plants respond. Playing certain kinds of music can affect plant growth. And it affects our growth. And the words that we allow to rest around us are going to affect us. In fact, we don't even really fully understand how our brain processes information, but we're starting to kind of have that whole world unfolding to us now that we have access to the internet and can find out all the things that are happening all around the world. So I'm going to take just a couple minutes and talk about that. So how many of you are familiar with phantom pain for people who have had amputated limbs? Right? Okay. Oh, yay, Al, you know about this. How cool is that? Do you want to share anything about it that you know about it so far?
All I know is really that, like,
Okay. Hang on. I just love that you know about this, so yay. Okay, go ahead.
I know it's something like when someone loses an arm or a leg or some limb and they're still in the hospital, they can still get like feeling in that. They can get like a cramp or something and they go to like massage it, but it's not there. It's just in their mind.
Totally, yes. Right? And so they have tried like drugs, serious drugs to help people with this pain. And the interesting thing is like those drugs don't work. So drugs that like literally knock them out still don't help with the pain that they're experiencing in this limb that doesn't or no longer exists. So they've done a tremendous amount of research to try to figure out what is it that's happening. You can hand that back to Greg unless you have more to comment on. Thanks. They're trying to figure out what's happening in the mind. And so are you guys familiar with some of the research that's been done on how to figure out how to resolve phantom limb pain?
Wait.
And currently, what is the most effective method of treating phantom limb pain? Yes.
Did this all come to mind because of Darby's her little thing where she goes, if your leg get cut off, does it still hurt?
No, when did she do that?
I did do that. I said,
Totally did.
Go ahead.
I asked my dad, if your leg gets cut off, would it hurt? And he's like, well, he's already heard it, so but like it would go like, no, obviously, or yes, it would, obviously, and like, where would you feel the pain?
Oh, this is right, because you had like a little riddle thing happening last week. That's not where this came from, but genius that this is connecting. So where do you feel the pain?
In your leg.
In your leg. Because I got cut off. Still hurts. Very funny. So they've tried all these different methods to try to figure out, because the pain isn't just like at the site of where the limb was amputated. So the issue isn't I lost my arm and now I have pain in the stump of my arm. The pain is in the hand, or the pain is in the wrist, or the other part of your limb that is no longer there, and they have not been able to treat the pain that somebody's having for a limb that doesn't exist. So they've tried many different things to try to resolve this pain, because something's going on in the brain and they're trying to figure out what is this all about. And so the most effective method so far has been, anybody familiar with what it is? Yes, Jocelyn knows. Okay, you have a guess. Go ahead, what's your guess? What?
Is it breathing and meditation?
Breathing and meditation is not it, but that's a great idea. Anyone else? Want to guess what the... That's a really great approach, and it might be effective, but I don't know that they've done enough research on it. Anyone else? Yeah.
I know the answer.
You know the answer, because we talked about it this week. Yes. You're like, I'm not sure where that was. Yeah, that was our conversation, kind of prompted some of this, actually. So we had a conversation about it. So they call it mirror box therapy. And so basically what they do is, so let's say I had this leg missing, right? So this leg missing, and this is the leg that's in pain. What you do is you take a mirror and you put it up to your leg that is full length. And you now look in the mirror and see that you have both legs. And your brain is now trying to process that you have your leg back. And it can immediately feel much better, because your brain has been trying to process the trauma of the leg that's no longer there. Then what you can also do as the pain persists, because some people will have this chronic pain in a leg, they will apply therapy to the leg that is still here. And that therapy, so massaging, moving the ankle, will actually heal the phantom limb. So they will have actual occupational therapists come in and provide therapy to the limb that you have in a mirror, so that your brain can process that that limb is healed. I know, it's pretty cool, right? Because the brain needs to know that it's okay. And the brain is like trying to process this information. So we have a video that I'm going to show you on just how the brain processes information. Any of you who've watched Brain Games? Come on, there's a few of us, right? So you might have seen this episode or this portion of an episode on how the brain processes information visually.
To show you how that works, Jonah's recreating a classic psychology experiment.
You can
The
try
rubber
it
hand
out this
illusion
way.
is a funny hack of the brain where you can convince people very quickly that this rubber arm is actually their own arm.
He's setting up a stand at Venice Beach, where he'll test volunteers to see if they can experience sensations in a hand that's not theirs.
Welcome to the rubber hand experience. I want you to put your left hand right here and put your right hand right here.
Jonah has participants hide their right hand out of sight behind a divider,
Just gonna drape this so it's as if it's your real hand.
while he places a rubber hand on the table in front of them.
Just stare at this hand.
Jonah primes participants by brushing both the fake and real hand simultaneously, a process which helps the brain link the feeling to the fake arm.
Feel like you're doing that to my hand, but that's not my hand. My hand's over there. So that's kind of weird.
That's kind of weird.
Now that Jonah has linked this volunteer's brain to the new hand, he's got an even bigger surprise for her.
That was a little bit scary.
Good flinch.
Oh my goodness. When you hit that thing, I thought I was gonna lose my hand. So that was so scary. And it really felt like that was like I could move those fingers if I wanted to. My brain decided that that I could feel that.
Yeah.
And that you hitting that was hitting me. That's so strange how it does that.
Impressive, right? Let's see how many other people fall prey to this mind game.
My name's Jonah. Okay, so you keep on staring at that hand.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Oh, wow.
That
scared me.
That scared you?
Although around 10% of the participants weren't able to mentally connect the fake hand to their body,
Did it feel like I smashed your hand at all? No.
Nope.
most felt some kind of phantom sensation, if not actual pain. Jonah is hacking into these people's mental body maps,
Oh my God.
causing them to connect information inaccurately.
Right. Nice to meet you. Well,
It turns out that about 30% of your brain is devoted to your sense of sight. So when your body must choose between trusting what you're seeing or what your other senses are telling you, it implicitly trusts your eyes and often makes the wrong choice.
So how cool is that? If I'd had a fake hand, we totally could have done it here and tried the experiment. So the longer you associate that hand as your hand, the more your brain will start to interpret those messages, right? And because this is no different than what Jared was talking about last week with the 2D and 3D. Like we see in 2D, but our brain processes all that information and shows us depth perception. with shadows, with cues, and we can be wrong, right? We can be wrong on those perceptions. This is just the brain's way of also filling in the blanks. But here's the interesting thing. Our brain often fills in the blanks on lots of other things. So I've been asking the Lord, like for about 4 weeks, I had this really random thought. I think I was driving, and the thought of this phantom pain with limbs came to my mind. And I wondered, do we have phantom pain over past hurts in our life? Right? Do we have phantom pain? Have we lost something or had something traumatic happen, and we're still experiencing phantom pain that we're trying to work out because our brain has not yet resolved it? And could it be that the way of resolving that pain is having a mirror set up to something healthy in us, showing us we're okay? And I think that that's part of what this is. Part of making declarations over ourselves is about putting a mirror up to our own psychology, our own brain, in order to help ourselves get in tune and in line with who we really are.
So
And it
how
can
do we use
heal
these things?
It can heal some of the psychic pain. It also does a really cool thing, and I'll tell you that in a second, how we're going to do it.
All right.
It also does this other amazing thing, which is it changes the things around us at a subatomic level. It changes things. It changes us. It changes the atmosphere. It calls forth spiritual realities to work on behalf of what we're proclaiming. So here's how I want us to try this. You need to pick your favorite number between 1 and 31. You got it? You got it? You got it? Okay, so pull out a note card. You can have up to
Is it
two
between or inclusive of?
including 1 and 31. I think everybody does inclusive of, but it's inclusive of
Just
1 and
saying
31.
language is important. Babe.
Language is super important. Okay, so grab a card. And you can pick up to 2 of your favorite numbers between 1 and 31. Up to 2. You can pick 1 or 2 numbers.
The rules are constantly changing.
Just randomly. Or you can pick from the table of contents, because I did hand them out ahead of time, so I am free to let the Spirit move the way the Spirit wants to move. So you pick based on however you want to pick. He's doing random. Okay, so anybody have, I just want to make sure that we don't have people who have the same one. So, okay, 17, 31. Who else? Did you? They did. They dibbed it. Yeah.
It's like calling
28.
shotgun man. That means you absolutely
23,
get the shotgun
4.
seat.
Okay. Eli, do you got a number? 3. Ooh, that's, yeah. Okay, good. I know you picked it first. Okay. 13. 25 and 14 are yours. Okay.
10. I have 10.
You have 10? 21. 23. Darby has 23. Can you pick another one? What? 1 or 2. You can pick up to 2 numbers.
That's her volleyball number.
It is. And her birthday. Did you pick a number?
No, I'm not picking a number. I refuse.
No, you're not. What number are you picking?
I'll pick whatever is left over that
Okay.
you want me to
Ladies,
do.
do you want to pick one? I double dog dare you. Think about it. We'll let you. You can pick one if you want. Okay. Dan, yours was picked. So which one? You're picking 12. Okay. Did you pick
Very
one already,
biblical number.
Sammy? Okay. Okay. Good. 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 No, so we're not. Did you pick a new one? 17.1. Taylor was so rude. All right. You want 17? Take 17. Pick one more. 4 and 17. Okay. She's got 17. He's got 17 and 4. Oh, sorry. She picked 4. Super bad. Look in the
He
table of
gives up.
content.
He'll take whatever's left. There is no prize for this.
Okay, he's taking 30. Hey, you think you're upset, but the Holy Spirit might be picking this for you, so you just never know, right? Okay, you picked yours. Dan, you
There's
got
no
yours?
money in on this. It's There's no
You picked
prizes.
3 already? Oh, 12. Okay. All right, what one are you picking? I don't think anyone
What was
picked
left?
5, correct? Did anyone pick 5? So I'm
I'll
picking
take
number
5.
5.
Oh, you take 5? All right. I'll do number 1.
Okay, you'll pick number 1. All right, so here's how this is going to work. All of us, I hope, are going to participate every single day for the whole month. So we will do the number that tomorrow's date is.
Okay,
That's what we will
I'm confused. When do we start this? February 1st?
do. No, we're starting tomorrow.
This is so confusing. I know.
This
This
is
year.
going to repeat. This is going to repeat. This is not going to happen just one time. So we're going to start tomorrow on tomorrow's date. But the number that you chose that's yours is yours to change and adapt and make it any way you want. Right?
So you can do the square root of your
You go
chosen
by
number.
the one that's in the book. But for the one that you picked, that is especially yours to adjust and change. And it is also yours to make sure that you do on your day. Okay, so here's,
You're supposed to write in these books too.
yes, you
It
can
has
write
this
in them.
special, this book belongs to thing.
Yes. So
Yes.
each day,
And then there's other places.
you're going to have 10 things that you can declare. But probably a few of them you're going to feel like, I feel uncomfortable with these. Because that's going to happen, because that's what happens. So what you want to do is ask the Lord, what do I want to write instead? Because they each have a different topic. But on the one that's yours, that you picked especially, that is yours and the Holy Spirit to go after. Okay? So what one did you pick that's especially yours? What topic?
Now I'm
That
wishing
fine?
I had looked at the table of contents.
Less with family. See, right? So let's see. Taylor, you picked 7.